anger or self-pity, but for what his death would do to his rents. They'd already been through so much. Mum collapsed into Dad's arm when the police broke the news. Matty was one of the 83 people murdered by that madman Ryan Kaine. Ryan bloody Kaine. Monster, terrorist bastard, fucking killer. Ryan bloody Kaine killed Matty. He killed Matt, dear God. At least he'd gone quickly. Always was the lucky one, not like Martin, no. Martin was going to die alone on a bloody mountain. Exposure would get him, or gangrene, painful and slow, and alone. Matty, I'm so sorry. The big brother who'd tormented and teased him all his life, but who'd have taken a bullet for him, would never come back. He'd never see Matty again. Fuck. He'd never see anyone again. Should have stayed home. The desperation in Mum's eyes when he told her he was still going to Scotland despite Matt's death. He didn't even bloody ask. Instead, he'd been angry with her for insisting she walked him to school like he was a baby, too small to cross the road on his own. "For God's sake, Mum, stop crying. It's embarrassing," he said under his breath outside the school gates, while the other lads stood by trying not to smirk. "I'm only away for a couple of days. I'll be back in plenty of time for the funeral." Why had he even said that? What was he thinking? She'd reacted as though he'd slapped her across the face. And he hadn't even apologized. He'd been a selfish bastard, didn't even say goodbye. And where was he now? Dying on a Scottish mountain. Bloody idiot. All because he wanted to see eagles up close. Stupid, stupid, stupid. To think he'd fallen for it. What would Matty have said? "You're a complete moron, baby brother. What have I told you about reading between the lines? Don't trust anyone, you fuck-up. Fancy letting Mum and Dad down like this. Now I'm not here to save your sorry arse." He'd have said it with a kindly smile and maybe ruffled Martin's hair at the same time, but he'd have said it just the same. "Sorry, Matty. Sorry for being a fuck-up." A raindrop fell on the tip of his nose and ran into his mouth. He licked the water away. No chance of dying of thirst in Scotland. Had a better chance of fucking drowning. He sneezed. The movement shot a knife through his leg. His throbbing shoulder screamed, and the crushing vice around his head tightened. Martin pushed his free fist into his mouth, bit down hard on the knuckles, and screamed in silence. Once again he let the tears flow. He stared up at the jagged edge of the cliff face in the distance, the one with its recently crumbled ledge. If there were any search teams, would the broken rocks point them down to him? Could he last long enough for that? Time passed slower than every single maths lesson he'd ever had with Ma Bancroft. Jesus, when would they put the old cow out of everyone's misery? She had to be pushing 50. Seconds, minutes, hours passed. The rain lightened and finally stopped, but a heavy blanket of fog took its place. Last night, before the sunset, the drubbing of a helicopter's rotor blades had given him brief hope, but the bloody thing had flown right over him without stopping. The spotters hadn't seen him. But why should they? The rocks hid him. Maybe that helicopter hadn't been searching for him after all. Perhaps someone else was lost on the mountain. Oh, God! They weren't coming. No one was coming. He'd fucked up for the last time. Mum, Dad, Matty, I'm sorry I let you down. So sorry. Martin Princeton closed his eyes to the cold grey mist, clamped his arms around his chest, and waited for death. Chapter 2. Wednesday the 16th of September, afternoon. Heading north, A84, near Bannockburn, Scotland. 2 hours after crossing the border into Scotland, the fuel light on the dashboard flashed its angry yellow feed me message. Ordinarily, Ryan Kaine